Welcome to today's tutorial. Today we are going to show you how to work with Glitterflex vinyl. We are going to make a in the hoop freestanding star that we are going to stick onto an Alice band that will make a very nice headpiece for a little girl. So to make our Alice band we are going to be using a 4x4 inch design. So we need our 4x4 inch hoop, some tear away or stitch and tear, heat bonded Glitterflex vinyl, our double bend scissor, some felt, an Alice band, embroidery thread, a glue gun and your little steam fast iron. So we are going to hoop our stitch and tear in our hoop. It's nice and straight. You only need one layer for this project if you are using a medium weight stitch and tear. If you have a thinner kind, we advise 2 layers. So once we have hooped that, we are going to place the hoop on our machine and embroider the first step. So our first step has completed and we are now going to take it off our machine. Okay, and now we are first going to place our felt at the back of our hoop. The felt is going to act as your lining. Ensure that your whole design is covered. And then we are going to place the hoop back on the machine. Ensure that when you place the hoop back on, that your fabric at the back, your felt, does not fold back over itself, otherwise you are going to have a mistake on the back and you are going to have to restitch it. So we are now going to place our Glitterflex over our star. Our Glitterflex, we buy it in sheets. You can either get them in letter sized sheets or in rolls, but a sheet is more than enough. You do not have to purchase a roll. It is quite an expensive product, so we do try and work as sparingly with it as we can. All Glitterflex that you purchase will have a protective mylar layer on the top. This layer protects the Glitterflex but is not needed when you embroider. So before you embroider, please always ensure to take off the mylar. As Glitterflex is expensive, we don't always work with the whole sheet at once. So what I have done is I have pre-cut the size that we will need today. If you would like to pre-cut, just make sure that you measure your design. If you would like, you can print a template, or once it has embroidered and you know the size, you can just place your Glitterflex over the design and measure and then cut. So we are now going to take our Glitterflex. I'm going to start with the pink and I'm going to take off the protective covering. We then place it over our design and then we take the design back to our machine. We are now going to embroider the next applique line, which will hold the Glitterflex in place. star has now completed, and you will see our guideline has stitched. But before we can cut out our star, we need to iron the Glitterflex. This, why we will iron it, is it will help that it will bond to the felt and not make any bubbles and give you a nice flat design. So we are going to take it out of the hoop. I'm using today a small iron, that like a small travel iron. This brand that we are using is called Steam Fast. And all we are going to do is just iron over the Glitterflex. If you are afraid that you might burn the Glitterflex, you can take the piece of mylar that you took off before, place it over, and iron on top of that as well. The iron needs to be a dry iron, set on at least a medium heat, but the hotter the iron the better, because the better the Glitterflex will bond. So once we have ironed it, if you've used the mylar, just take it off, and we can now take our scissor and cut along the guideline. The reason why we have given you the guideline is to ensure that all your stars that you are going to be making will be the same size. Okay, so we are now going to cut. Remember, when you are cutting, that you will need to cut the back and the front at the same time. And you can just cut on that guideline. And there we go, our star is cut out and it is complete. We are now going to carry on with the rest of our stars. This is our green one. Before you start stitching, you can also hold it lightly in place. Don't force your hand onto the hoop. Just lightly keep your fingers there to hold the Glitterflex in place. Once the machine has stitched it down a couple of steps, you can let go. So, to make our Alice band, we need our preheated glue gun, our 3 stars, and our Alice band. To start, we are first going to mark the position of the first star. So we're going to put it on our Alice band and just roughly mark the spot where you would like to stick it with your marking pen. We then take our glue gun, put a little bit of glue on the spot, and stick our star in place. You may need to hold it there for a few seconds. It is ideal to have one point pointing down and a V of the star at the top, so that your next star can fit in nicely. So we put in our next star. Once again, mark the spot where we would like the star to be. Put on some glue. You can put a longer line of glue to make sure it sticks nicely, and stick our next star in place. Okay, now we are ready for star number 3. Please be aware when you are working with a glue gun that it is very hot, and be careful not to burn. So we are going to mark our next star. Take our glue gun, glue, and stick our last star in place. Because it is a glue gun, the glue dries pretty quickly, and we have an Alice band.